Hello, welcome to MoreBikes.co.uk for another one of our product tests. Today we're talking about this little beauty here. This is the Sena 10C, Bluetooth intercom system and built-in camera as well. To make this a bit easier for you to see everything, I'm actually going to pop this off the helmet. But before I do, this is how it sits on the helmet. I'll show you on the side of my Showy Spirit 3 so you get some sort of idea of the distance. You can set this to be at any angle that you want. It could be up or down by a pinwheel turn at the back here that you just lock into position. It's fantastically easy to use. I'll take it off the helmet to show you. This is the connector before I do, and that plugs in there. It's got stereo headphones, as you can imagine, stereo speakers, shallow speakers. I've connected mine up to a boom mic that's on an arm, and that goes up under here. If you've seen any of our in-helmet reviews on MoreBikes.co.uk with myself or Miko, this is the kit that we use, and we've sort of settled on this kit because it is so good, and we figured we'd show you about it. We'd show you, what goes into it as much as we can, how it operates, and you can see some of the footage for yourself, which we'll put into this video probably at the end. But yes, so this is the Sena 10C. They do several models, 10U, 10S, etc. This in particular is the 10C. So I'll pop this off the helmet. You just do that by sliding it up. There you go. I normally make that look far more complex than it actually is. So that's off the helmet now. Put the helmet to one side because there's not really much to show you in there. The speakers are very flat and you attach them with Velcro to the interior of your helmet. And the boom mic, you just come around and then you just hide the wires under the padding. Real easy to do. It takes you about 15 minutes tops to do a helmet, and then you can either clamp that bracket onto the side of your helmet with a clamp with an Allen key type connector, or you can stick it on with a sticky Scotch 3M pad. Sena recommends that you stick it on with a sticky 3M pad. I tend not to, just because if I'm changing helmets when I'm testing, I want to run this on a helmet as well, and I'll take this with me. So I bracket in. I've found no issue at all with the clamp bracket. I find that absolutely fine. One word of advice though, don't over tighten it by a lot when you do it up. Found out to my cost you can easily snap the head off the bolt. I'm an idiot, I'm telling you, so that you don't find the same mistake if you do it. So anyway, let's move on to the unit. This is the unit itself. These are the brains of everything that it does. Just to give you a bit of orientation, this is a turn wheel here. So that can turn both ways. This is a push button in the center. That's basically your select. So this is your different parts in the menu as you spin around. It's also your volume control. This is your select button here. On the back there's a button here, and that button is for FM radio. So you can press that in, FM radio turns on. You can preset your stations. I think you can preset like 30 stations on here. I've got 6 preset at the moment. Very easy to do. You turn your FM radio on, and then you can select your presets, or you can just scan with this wheel. Pull it down and wait, and it will scan through as you're riding around. Very easy to use. This is the aerial on top, so there's no aerial that you've got to flick up. Like on some of the Senas, there's no wires or anything. The aerial's all contained within here. This button on top here is the video command button. You press that in and hold it, and you can have, and then it turns the video function on. You press it and hold it again, and the video starts recording. Within the video, if you press that button once, you can take high-res stills as you're riding along. It's a fantastic system. The camera itself, the lens is in here under this cover that you get with it. So I'll take that off, and that's the lens you can see there. Now, the beautiful thing about this lens is, you can see that red mark on top. That shows you where the center of the lens is. So depending on how you have the unit fixed to the side of your helmet, you can turn that to square up the lens. So if I had it on a helmet and it was like this, I could square the lens up to be level by turning it that way. If it was more in that way, I could turn it that way to keep it level. Probably not said that very well, but basically it means you can adjust the lens to be absolutely level as you're riding along, no matter how this is sighted on your helmet. Brilliant bit of kit. Doesn't take long to charge up, a couple of hours from zero, absolutely flat battery, to charge, and using it as an intercom and as a Bluetooth to my phone. I can get 2 or 3 days out of this if I'm riding 6, 7, 8 hours a day. Absolutely fantastic. The recording is second to none. Very easy to use. Press that button once and a voice. It's all voice menu in here. Lovely American lady's voice tells you that the video on. So the video is on, and then when you press it and hold it, video recording. All this goes on while you're riding along. Absolutely dead easy to use. So you're just recording, and then you can stop or take pictures within it. As I said, it doesn't weigh very much. You really won't notice this on the side of your helmet. I've never noticed this on the side of the helmet in terms of weight or interruption with wind drag. Or I've heard people say that you do get these with intercoms. Nonsense in my book. I've never felt it on the helmet at all, even when riding big nakeds at high speed. You can the bottom connectors. Show the bottom connectors. Bottom connectors. You have the power one there, and you have HD out underneath. You also have your little SD card that can fit in there. I've got a 32 gig class 10 in here. That's the biggest that this can take. Don't make the mistake I did and not read the instructions and go and buy a 64 gig that will take a 32 gig class 10. I have yet to use all of it recording whilst riding on a single day, so it gives you some idea of how much you can cram on there. Superb, very easy to use. Niggles about this, I have a couple. I'll be honest with you. The niggles are that this wheel here takes a bit of getting used to, and perhaps the nodules on the side aren't raised enough. So when you're using a gloved hand, you can do it, and it does become second nature after a while, but it just takes a bit of practice, a bit more practice than perhaps is strictly necessary. The lens cap here can be scratched quite easily. Well, I say easily. We've had a camera already scratched that Miko's running. Something's come up and chipped it, and we'd like to be able to just replace the lens, or if it's got a cover that we could put on there, a couple of quid, or a plastic cover that you could put on there, it would just save the hassle of now having a scratched lens on one of them, especially as it's so vulnerable. But other than that, it's absolutely brilliant. I can't recommend these highly enough. They also interact with other interphone systems that are Bluetooth. So I've had this one working with an interphone system. I also really like the interphone system. At the moment I'm not with the Sena because it's got the built-in camera, very useful for me. And this works well with the interphone system on another helmet. The Sena is the dominant one though, so if you pair it up with another intercom, that intercom can't call you, I've found with the interphone. You control it, which might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. Usually a good thing, but you can control the amount of chat. If it's talking to another Sena, then you have a range, I think it's a mile, a clear mile range on this, which is absolutely fantastic, and it is crystal clear, really, really good. Phone calls, obviously it links up to your phone with Bluetooth. You can make and receive phone calls. I can categorically say that up to about 110, 120 mile an hour, I've had phone calls with people just to check the clarity of this whilst we've been out on the test track, and at 120 miles an hour they aren't aware that you're riding a motorcycle. The sound quality is that good. The microphone has that white noise, background noise elimination, I don't really know, but I do know that the sound quality is that good that they're aware you're probably on a mobile phone, but they think you're in a car, and that says it all really. You can hear them quite clearly through the speakers. Like I say, I always ride with foam earplugs, so I have foam earplugs and then the speakers which are fitted inside the helmet, and I can hear a phone conversation up to about 100 mile an hour, which is fantastic. Obviously you're not going to be doing that on the public roads, but at 70, 80 mile an hour motorway cruising speed, it's like you're sitting in a car. It opens up a whole different avenue of what you can do with your motorcycle time if you're just doing boring miles. It really does. I know these aren't for everybody, and they're not for me all the time either. I'm the same. I like to turn them off or take them off and just ride as nature intended. But if you are in the market for one of these Bluetooth systems, an interphone, an intercom, something like that, then this is a terrific one to go for, especially because you also get the camera in there. Sena do other ranges. They do a 10C, which doesn't have the camera, but links directly to their Prism camera. This also links to the Prism camera as well, so you can have two cameras going. The Prism camera, which is on your bike, and this one, which is on your helmet. And they also do a 10S. but this is the 10U. I've seen these for sale in the UK for various prices. The cheapest I've seen is £230, up to about £330, so it's worth shopping around to find the best deal for you. But in terms of a standalone review of this, the Sena 10U with built-in camera, I've got to give this sort of 10 out of 10. It's absolutely fantastic. I've been through some torrential rain in it, nothing, doesn't even skip a beat. Dead easy to charge, dead easy to use, and gives you some great results. The only thing I would add to it would be a protective cover for the lens, but there it is in all of its glory, the Sena 10U. Thanks for watching MoreBikes.co.uk. Stay with us for plenty more product reviews.